Hi everybody, Ben and Mick back in the tiny room. Oh yeah, theme music.
Theme music for the podcast. We don't actually have any theme music, so someone will probably make one up for us. I don't want to name any. Rachel, I hope it's Rachel that does that for the podcast.
We're back in the tiny room! Tiny room.
Stealing your bit.
Yeah, leave it alone. Ben, we're back in the tiny room.
Thanks for repeating what I said.
Must be Sunday.
It must be.
Ben.
Yes.
We've had a tweet.
Now hang on. We've had tweets before. I've been tweeted out before, and it's stung.
No, this is a real tweet. It's a real tweet.
Real tweet.
Real tweet from Dean. He's on Twitter. He's at Dean of Mean. Dean.
Nice.
That's his Twitter handle.
It's a pretty decent Twitter handle.
Nice Twitter handle. And he said, hey lads, you seem sound, especially Mick. Which film do you think is worse, Catwoman or Batman and Robin? So we'll probably do an episode on that.
Well, it would be right in the face of fate if we didn't. We didn't do it from Totally Real Dean.
Totally Real Dean is real. Like, this is a real person. Yeah. It's not like, remember at the start...
And he definitely thinks you're the soundest one on the podcast.
Listen, I'm just reading the message.
You're just reading the message.
Remember at the start when people weren't listening and we had to make up tweets?
Tweets, yeah.
No, we get real tweets now.
Really? So exciting.
Who would have thought?
I just let Mick handle all this and it seems to be going very well.
You know what? Actually, sorry to cut across you there.
It's okay.
I haven't told you this, so I'm going to tell you this now. We did a Twitter poll.
Okay.
We did a Twitter poll. Have I told you this? Stop me if I've told you this.
I don't think so.
We did it. By we I mean
by we mean Mike.
I did a Twitter poll, and the Twitter poll was, who do you think is the greatest TV and movie Thor?
Oh,
you know, obviously, because we were talking about Thor last week. And the options that we put in were Chris Hemsworth.
Good old Chris.
Pretty good Thor.
Long-time fan of the podcast.
Yeah. It doesn't fit in the tiny room.
So we just don't have him on.
He's
actually outside right now. Hey, Chris.
Hey, Chris. He's outside. Garth Ennis is keeping a close eye on him.
They're talking about some kind of live screen adaptation of something that Garth Ennis did with the stereotypical Irishman.
Then option 2 was Eric Allen Kramer, who was the Thor from The Incredible Hulk Returns, which I forgot to actually mention last week, the name of the actor.
He went on to be a Disney Channel star.
Did he?
Yeah, he played a father in a long-running Disney Channel.
Did he play Miley Cyrus's father? Billy Ray Cyrus?
No, Billy Ray Cyrus played Billy Ray Cyrus. He played... I can't remember which one. He played an exterminator in
a former Terminator. In Terminator 5.
No, not an ex-Terminator.
I'm
an
retired.
Exterminator. I won't be back.
Yeah. Come with me if you want to retire to Florida. No, you do one. You do something a Terminator might say when he retires.
Adios.
No, that's not great.
No, I didn't have it.
Oh, my hip. Oh, I'm really feeling this cold.
My grandkids never come to visit.
Yes, what's wrong with them? Wait a minute, I'm not a biological organism. Let's stop this.
You started it.
What were we talking about? Yes, and option 3 was Michael Shanks. Who played Thor, Supreme Commander Thor.
Supreme Commander Thor.
On Stargate. And Michael Shanks won it in a landslide. Seriously. And Michael Shanks won it in a landslide almost entirely, this is not a joke, almost entirely due to block voting from French Michael Shanks fans. all their Twitter handle. Oh, that's hard to say.
Twiddle is where we actually do most of the podcast advertising.
All the Twiddle handles were things like French Michael Shanks fan forever.
What?
And they all retweeted.
Yeah.
They all retweeted her tweet.
Retwiddled.
And Michael Shanks won it 83%.
Wait, why are there so many Michael Shanks fans in
France?
France.
I think it's because it's nothing to do with Stargate even. It's to do with his medical drama, Grey's Anatomy knockoff, Saving Hope.
Oh.
Oh. With Erica Durance.
From Smallville. Lois Lane.
Yeah.
She was a good Lois Lane. Well, the show was declining at the time of her introduction.
Yeah, it was never.
As soon as we started putting on skin tight, brightly coloured things in Smallville, it was like, no.
So yeah,
no.
So that's it. We've kind of awakened the Twitter Michael Shanks mafia.
Well, thank God we talked about him favourably.
Yeah, I know.
Thank the Lord that we didn't have a bad word to say, and we never will.
No,
French Michael Shanks fans.
We are big Michael Shanks fans here at Michael and Benjamin's podcast. In fact, the podcast is named in honour of Michael Shanks.
It's not actually Michael.
It's a coincidence
of this Michael. It's Michael Shanks and
Benjamin Bratt. Who's in Catwoman?
Segue. Speaking of.
But no, before we get on to the point of today, I've come up with a few names. We'll talk about that in a few minutes.
Excellent.
Spider-Man, Ben.
Spider-Man.
Are we confident? Are we worried? What are we thinking?
No. It's just a no. You asked me, was I confident? No.
Are you worried?
I'm not worried. I think it's just going to be it's going to be fine.
I think it's going to be very good.
It's no.
Yeah,
It's
going to be great.
No.
Why?
No. It's just going to be the same Spider-Man movie we see every time. I tell you what, it does look a little bit better than though. It looks a lot funnier than Mark Webb's Spider-Man.
That's not his real name, surely.
Mark Webb is the director of
Mark Webb.
Yeah.
Directed Spider-Man.
He used to do music videos.
Web of Spider-Man. Come
Web
on.
with 2 B's.
What?
Web with 2 B's. Web.
The guy's name is Mark Webwith.
No, Mark Webb with 2 B's. WEBB.
Oh.
Double B.
Yeah. That's quite a coincidence. That's like the Prime Minister of Britain during the Irish Play-Doh famine.
Go on. I don't know this one.
Peel. Wasn't it?
Excellent.
Oh no.
I don't know.
There might be a mixed retractions. Yeah, look, it's going to be good. It's going to be a good movie.
Okay.
I think what's worrying you is it looks like Marvel have made it and they've let Sony market it. And have you been on YouTube ever?
Ever? No. Well, I for the first time last week, I actually graced YouTube with my presence.
If you go on YouTube and you do a search for
yes,
Spider-Man Homecoming, you can watch about 30 minutes of the movie. I'm not joking. From pieced together clips.
That's not shocking.
No, I mean,
because I was going to do a whole bit on how I'd already seen the entire movie
through
the extent.
Do your bit.
It's like, do you mean other than how I've already seen the whole film? That's where I was going to lead on when you were like, I think what you're worried about is the fact that I've already seen the entire film. But it's cool because retrospective bits where I break them down are even funnier. So it's fine. It's fine.
I've ruined your bits.
Do you think?
So, come here. Have you ever read this research? I can't remember where this research came from. Have you ever read this research that says people are more likely to enjoy movies where they already know what's going to happen?
No. I wasn't even aware that such research existed.
There is. This is off my cuff. So
I
don't have anything to present to you. We can add something to the annotations in the video.
Excellent.
But there was research done, and apparently the more you know about a movie, the more you look forward to it, and the more likely you are to enjoy it.
Really?
Isn't that weird?
I would have thought it was the exact opposite.
Right? But now, thinking about it, Guardians of the Galaxy, which you still haven't seen, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it more the second time than the first time. I think the first time it was taking too much cognitive energy
to actually keep up,
figure out what's going on. Yeah, and I was like, it wasn't so much worry.
And your brain is second guessing a lot. It's like,
and you're like,
this is the way it was in my head.
And like stuff in Guardians of the Galaxy was so not in the trailer.
Okay.
That it was like, where's this going? This is mad.
Excellent.
But that's definitely not going to happen with Spider-Man. Because we know what's going to happen.
Because we know what's going to happen with Spider-Man.
He's gonna.
We've actually seen the entire rise and fall of Spider-Man in Spider-Man Home. The whole arc, the whole hero's journey.
Act 1 is going to be he comes back from the Avengers and he's a bit bored because he's not doing great.
Exceptionally cocky.
Yeah, and he's not doing great in school because he's more focused on Spider-Manning around.
Tony Stark puts him on the bench.
Well, I think that's going to be Act 2.
Yeah, well, end of Act 1 leading into...
because he's going to do a disaster.
He's going to overdo something.
Well, the ferry.
I think it's the ferry. Yeah,
there's no thinking.
There's no thinking.
It is.
It is the ferry.
It is
the
ferry.
ferry.
Even when they were showing the ferry in early scenes where he... Oh, sorry, I just banged the table there. When they were showing the ferry in early scenes where he was holding the ferry together with the webbing, and you're like, oh, how's Spider-Man going to get out of this? And then they released a trailer 2 weeks later showing Iron Man
come in and... Yeah.
And he just saves the day. And then he takes him back and he gives out to him and he says, I trusted you.
Scolding.
There's the scolding.
There's
Come here for your scolding. Then he takes the suit off him.
Because he's not allowed to have the suit anymore.
And then Spider-Man says, sure, feck it. I'm still going to investigate these lads with the purple guns.
Yeah, because they're awful suspicious.
Yeah, and then the lads with the purple guns figure out maybe not who Peter Parker is, but certainly who Spider-Man is.
And they make him a target.
And then Spider-Man is trying to... The end of it seems to be that the Vulture, Michael Keaton. Have you seen the Vulture action figure?
No, is it cool?
It's amazing. The
Really?
6-inch one is 2 foot wide, the wings.
What?
It's going to be there.
Will it fit? Is that 2 foot wide? Oh, it is.
That's about
it is.
3 foot, but it'll fit it'll take up most of the back. Oh, it's going to be amazing.
Mick is pointing at one of the sections of his large shelving unit that he uses for action figures.
Hey, it's action figures again.
Yeah, well, I don't. You haven't done anything to spite me this week, but don't you worry. I bet you will.
But then he's going to try and save this shipment of shield weapons.
Yes.
And then the Vulture's going to attack the plane. And then they're going to have their final showdown.
The Vulture's going to smack him around a bit. Get a little bit spite. Maybe he'll be a little bit spited by Spider-Man, and we'll start a much grander revenge scheme that will force Spider-Man to up his game.
You think so?
And earn Tony's respect.
I think that's going to be the final fight.
No, I think that's definitely going to be the final fight. But what I mean is, I think he's going to go up against the Vulture. Mm-hmm. He's going to do okay. He's going to stop the shipment from being a success.
Right.
The Vulture looks like a bit of a petty dick.
Yeah.
Looks like a little bit of a petty man.
A real dickhead.
Mm-hmm.
That might just because he has Michael Keaton's face.
Yeah, Michael Keaton does do dickhead faces a lot. But, yeah, he does have dick face. Permanent dick face. Yeah, which is as unappealing as it sounds. And I think what's going to happen is he's going to get so annoyed that he's going to find out something about Peter Parker to get revenge.
Well, because there's the thing.
Have to up his game.
There's the thing, you see. Have you read that spoiler?
I haven't read any spoilers.
I'm not considering this a spoiler because it was an official Sony press release.
I haven't read any spoilers.
Do you want to hear this?
Go ahead.
So we find out in a stupid ass Sony press release,
because Sony is
marketing this, that his crush in high school is Vulture's daughter.
What?
I know.
What?
I know. Sorry for telling you that.
Jeez. Now I'm very worried.
Yeah. No, don't be worried.
That's shite writing.
It's not.
It's
probably great.
Oh, what? It was his daughter all at once. No.
But we don't know that it's going to be a twist in the movie. It may well just be known in the movie.
It's still shite.
Well,
I'd say some tosser made a feck up at the press release.
Yeah, some spanner. Well, I don't know. It's Sony. Stop it, Sony!
God,
just stop!
Marvel, just pretend like you're letting them have a part in it. It's like when you bring your kid to work and you send your kid to do little tasks around the office. You see that cup? Bring that cup back over to the sink.
Yeah.
Now. Oh, good man, that really helped the office today. And then you let them tire themselves out. And then you do everything, Marvel. Because Sony is shit.
Oh, it's
that Spider-Man film.
Sony's the worst.
Just give them a cup to take over to the sink. But then they butchered it. They just hockeyed it.
Speaking of Spider-Man, I saw a cool thing. Have you seen the movie Life? Ryan Reynolds, Jake Gyllenhaal in space, alien symbiote.
Haven't seen it.
Give it roll your eyeballs.
It's supposed to be okay, sorry, keep going, but then I have something to add to.
Apparently makes a very serviceable prequel to Venom.
Yeah, that's what I was going to do. But what I also found out was, you know who the villain in Venom is going to be? Well, the antagonist, because we can't really call him a villain, because Venom
Carnage
is a villain. It's going to be Carnage.
Yeah.
This is just the most convoluted introduction to the character ever. I think we should have a symbiote episode.
We should probably do a symbiote
because there are
episode.
stacks of symbiotes now. It's so hard to keep up with.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. We'll do a symbiote episode.
I've also come up with the name for that episode, which is Stacks of Symbiotes.
Just now.
We're gonna keep that for future.
Make a note.
Consistency.
Hold on, pardon the wobble. I'm putting stacks of symbiotes in my notebook.
Quite like
stacks of...
Because symbiotes get confusing. And the Carnage-Venom relationship is very eatable. Strange.
We'll talk about that another day.
Anyway, another day.
Let's move on.
Anyway, speaking of convoluted messes, we had quite a few before this golden era of superhero films. Mainly the early the late 1990s and the early 2000s had quite a few messes.
Yeah, we talked about Daredevil before,
which apparently has upset the public, and they've written to us to handle the issue and put a very serious question to bed.
Yeah. What's the question, though?
Which is worse?
Yeah.
Catwoman,
yes,
starring Halle Berry,
yes,
or the 1997 triumph of terrible cinema that is Batman and Robin?
Oh. So look, I've come up with a short list of names for this possible segment.
Okay.
So I'm going to throw them at you, and
Excellent.
then you tell me. So we have Shit Movie Showdown.
In a world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We also have Crap Film Competition.
Okay.
We have the very dramatic Who's the Shittest?
I quite like that one.
We have Bad Movie Beatdown.
Nice Michael Jackson era music video.
Because, I'm doing a moonwalk thing.
You film shit.
Here's the thing, though, right? When we started this... Oh, I'm losing my voice. When we started this podcast,
yes,
it was about speculative things and things we liked, and this is the first time we're doing something kind of negative.
I don't know if we're going to be
too negative. Well,
you
didn't see Catwoman.
I haven't seen it since I was a boy. It wasn't even formative. I knew it was shit then, and I should have been more focused on Halle Berry in a really, really tight catsuit, and I wasn't. That's how shit that film was. It took me out of my horny teenage development stage.
That's one of my little gripes with the movie. Actually, there's no catsuit.
Yeah, that's true.
No catsuit.
It's leather pants.
It's one of the worst things.
Ran afoul of a strimmer. Yeah. Anyway,
so here's what we're going to do.
Okay,
we're going to give this. We're going to roll this out. We're going to give it a try. This might.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah, this might work. This might not work. If it works, we'll do more. If it doesn't work, we'll pretend it never happened.
Well, this is. We'll call this Michael and Benjamin's podcast. The pandering, where we answer questions from the public, and if it goes wrong,
we'll blame Dean.
Sorry, Dean. It's too early to go under the bus ourselves, so push.
Then we'll track him down and we'll beat him up.
Well, Mick will probably do that. I don't really do
violence.
I'm a committed coward.
So look, here's the thing, right? We're going to break it down. We should probably let's tell the people which film each of us watched first.
Okay, so
you give your film a brief introduction.
Since chronologically speaking,
yeah.
Once upon a time, in a world where Batman films were popular, one man decided to fuck it all up. That man's name was Joel Schumacher, and in 1997, for some inexplicable reason, he was given the reins to his second Batman movie, following on from Val Kilmer in Batman Forever.
Which was fine.
Little bit kitsch, but took a lot of its notes from Batman Returns and 1989's Batman.
It had Nicole Kidman.
Tommy Lee Jones, Jim Carrey. Who doesn't love Jim?
I'm a riddle.
Yeah.
Or something.
Riddle me this, riddle me that.
Yeah, that was better than my one.
So, we had that. We had Tommy Lee Jones speaking really, really fast and then really slow.
Oh, is
that's what Tommy Lee Jones... That's what he does in everything. It's like, I didn't kill my wife. I don't care. Step away from the ledge. He's like really fast, and then the next sentence he just drags it. And that's how Tommy Lee Jones acts. Yeah. And it's wonderful every time you see it. So, he was high on the buzz of his own success, and many drugs, most of which were probably LSD. And he decided, I'm going to do it again. And Warner Brothers decided, yeah, great idea. And what we got was Batman and Robin. And I'm not going to jump into it now because we have to have a little tete-a-tete.
We have a structure. Yeah. So I got one of universally recognised as one of the worst films ever made.
Yay!
In fact, when I thought let's do a podcast about bad movies, won't that be fun? Won't that be a bit of crack? Sitting down, watching a movie and picking at it. And you know what? It fucking wasn't.
No, it's
It
not.
was fucking tedious. And I hate Dean. I hate Dean for making me waste 2 hours of my life watching Catwoman. It's
On a
not
Sunday, no less.
on a Sunday morning, waking up at 8 o'clock, having breakfast, and sitting down to watch Catwoman. It was like work. That's how bad it was.
That's how bad it was.
So, Catwoman, 2004, directed by Pitoff. Yeah, see? You never even realised there was a director, did you?
No, I thought Halle Berry just said, let's make a Catwoman movie.
He's a French special effects director.
Oh.
Starring Halle Berry.
Okay.
Oscar-winning actress Halle Berry.
Oscar winning.
And Raspberry? What are they called? What are the bad?
Razzie Award winning.
Razzie Award-winning actress Halle Berry. She won the Razzie for this movie.
Well, you would, wouldn't you?
Yeah, well, have you... Oh, damn it,
I didn't watch it in preparation for your commentary. I'm quite looking forward to it.
I didn't watch Batman and Robin
good,
either.
good.
So, the way we're going to approach this is we've broken it down into 5 categories, and we're going to take each category... Yeah, hold up. Put your pen... Just pick the pen back up. Since you caused so much stuttering, put it down as noisily as you can. There you go. Ben's not holding his pen anymore. We've broken it down into 5 categories. Sorry for getting a bit confrontational there.
All right, Dean. This was a happy home before Dean wrote in.
Thanks, Dean.
And now apparently, Mick stays late at the office.
Yeah,
I'm here cooking all day.
bloody Catwoman. So we've broken it down to 5 categories. We're gonna each present our film based on the category, and then we'll pick a winner for the worst in each category.
Okay.
And then we'll award the overall title of worst film to whichever one has the most wins, unless we have a special shit factor, something that
Something extra special.
something extra special
Nice.
that overrides the
All
number of
the other
categories.
stuff.
Right?
Okay.
So we'll start with topic 1. We'll try and do... How are we for time? Right. We'll try and do about 6 or 7 minutes on each
Before
topic.
we do that, though,
Yeah.
it should be noted by long-time fans of the podcast who are very committed to the structure that we normally use. Saban's Power Ranger scale has been abandoned for this experiment.
Yes, both of these films are worse than Saban's Power Rangers.
So there will be no mention, and I know this is disappointing, of Saban's Power Rangers during this podcast. Just bear with us. It'll be back next week.
So, let's start. Let's start with plot. Plot. You do your plot. First of all, does your film have a plot?
In a loose sense, sure.
Okay, well
sure.
Then I win this round.
Yeah, but in a loose kind of sense, sure.
So what's it about?
First of all, cast your mind back to the 90s, where some names were much bigger than others in the world of Hollywood. Okay,
Schwarzenegger.
Schwarzenegger is our.
Oh shit, he's in it.
Yeah,
I was just thinking of a long name.
no, he's in it. He's Mr. Freeze.
I completely
So
forgot
we
that.
have Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze. We have Uma Thurman as Poison Ivy. We have George Clooney as Batman. And we have Chris O'Donnell.
Still not dead.
Still not dead. We'll still trade him, God. If you're listening, it's no problem. Although he's a father now. Are we allowed to trade fathers?
No, we'll leave him alone. So
You've got kids. You're safe,
safe,
son. Clooney. If you get reincarnated as a caterpillar, I'm definitely swapping you for Adam West. And then we had Chris O'Donnell as
Ernest Robin.
As Ernest Robin, super Ernest Robin. And then Alicia Silverstone
For some reason.
as Batgirl. Yeah, because people were complaining there weren't enough women in the Batman film.
Does she try to convince Batman not to vaccinate his children?
Not in that one. That was, I think, in the script for the sequel to Batman and Robin. That didn't. Batman versus the anti-vaxxers. Where he faced off against the titular villain, the anti-vaxxer, played by Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Oh.
At the height of his 90s glory.
Is Jean-Claude Van Damme anti-vax?
No, I don't know.
This is getting a bit political.
I was choosing a. Basically, if you don't vaccinate your children, you're a moron.
It's political now.
That's not political. It's science. It's not the same thing.
it's getting political now.
Anyway, back to plot. Speaking of silly things that you should do and shouldn't actually be one in debate. So, basically, this film relies very heavily on a classic Hollywood staple, which is the Maguffin. Mm-hmm. Do you know what a Maguffin is, Michael?
Are you asking me that sincerely, or do you just want me
if you'd like to. What even is a Maguffin?
Well, do you want me to explain, or do you want me to ask you? Because are you setting up a bit?
You can explain. There's no bit.
A MacGuffin, Ben, is the thing in the film that the people want.
Yes, but it has no actual basis in fact, reality, or anything else like that.
Anytime that someone says the name of it, you could just replace it with the thing.
Yes. Super.
Every Transformers film. Yeah. We have to go to Earth to get the thing. I don't know who that was.
The large Autobots had, and it's very important in their culture, but somehow ended up here.
But the thing is on Earth now, so we have to go to Earth to get the thing.
So that's how Maguffins work.
To be fair, the Marvel movies do it a lot. Mm-hmm. The orb from Guardians of the Galaxy, that was the thing.
Yes.
That's the only one I can think of. Mm-hmm. When the man has to get the thing.
Every superhero movie has a MacGuffin of some kind.
Does it? Winter Soldier didn't.
No, that's true.
Well, there was a flash drive, but that was only for a few minutes.
I suppose in a way that the Winter Soldier is
the MacGuffin.
Captain America's MacGuffin.
Yeah.
He needs to get his buddy back.
Oh, that's nice.
He needs to get Bucky back.
Anyway, what's the thing?
The thing in this is a giant ice laser.
Those words don't go together.
No, they don't. There's no collocation.
That doesn't make any sense. That's like a heat cold.
Yeah, it just doesn't fit. Oh. So there's a giant ice laser, and the giant ice laser is actually a satellite array that's being designed to reflect sunlight on different parts of the world.
Oh, that's just a laser.
Yeah. It's like a giant magnifying glass that the scientists are putting together at the start of the film. Bruce Wayne is financing this because it'll help third world countries. It'll redirect sun or allow for anti-droughts. It's not really clearly defined.
Bruce Wayne's a real good egg, isn't he?
He is. He's an awful sound fella.
Yeah.
He's a lovely boy.
Yeah.
Goes to church every Sunday.
Does he?
No, he doesn't. No.
Okay.
Well, not the last time I spoke to him. But, yeah. So, he's financing all this. This is the basis of the movie. Things are going real well for Bruce. Mm-hmm. Like, he has a new partner. A little bit of tension between him and the partner, because the partner's growing up a little bit. He's not the boy wonder. He's kind of the boy man wonder. Like,
the young adult.
A little bit of tension, but nothing major league. Okay?
Sexual tension.
Things are going well. Elle Macpherson is on the scene. He's courting Elle Macpherson.
No, who cares?
She was big in the 90s.
Yeah.
Doesn't age. Look it up. Doesn't age.
She's still the same age?
Yeah, she literally shows no signs of outward aging.
Weird.
She might be a vampire.
Right.
But yeah, so Elle Macpherson's a vampire, not necessarily in the movie. But yeah, so unfortunately for these scientists, their MacGuffin runs on a large amount of diamonds. They're huge diamonds.
Yeah.
And oh no, there's a new villain on the scene.
Who?
Mr. Freeze. And what do you think his very important cryogenic suit runs on, Michael?
Halogen.
It's not halogen, Michael. Try again.
Probably some sort of gas. Xenon.
I might have mentioned it earlier.
Diamonds!
It runs on diamonds. It runs on diamonds. It's the earnest enthusiasm that he approaches these questions with. That's why we're doing a podcast together. That's why I accept it. So it runs on diamonds. So naturally, there's a little bit of a conflict of interests here.
So he wants the diamonds.
Yes, and then simultaneously to this, there is a new eco-warrior style villain on the scene, and that's Poison Ivy. And she's in with Thurman. And it's her goal to erase human beings from the planet.
Oh, a goal I share.
Yeah, so we're all to take a long dirt nap.
Yeah.
So the plants can take over the world again.
Especially Dean.
Yeah. Dean and his stupid niggling curiosity. Oh, damn it, Dean. Sorry, Dean. We were actually very happy that you listened to the podcast.
So is that the plot?
Thank you very much. So that's the plot. Well, I mean, naturally, if you haven't seen this movie, I'm going to spoil it now.
Oh yeah, spoilers.
They stop it from happening. Gotham is saved.
With fisticuffs.
There's a little bit of tension. We have a nice arc progression. It was really story by numbers in that regard. There are too many inconsistencies to count. And they kind of annoy me when I list them, so I'm just going to hand it over to you.
Okay, so Patience Phillips is a mousy secretary played by notable attractive person Halle Berry.
Excuse me, what's her name?
Patience Phillips.
Was she born in Jamaica?
She might have been, I don't know. She's brown. She calls herself Brown in it, so that's fine. But yeah, no, she's mousy. She has a crap wig. She has a crap wig, so that's how you know.
Oh, they Hollywood uglier.
Yeah, she has a crap wig, and
she still has flawless skin and stuff, and a pair of glasses.
Yeah, and she works for an evil cosmetics company.
Oh, curses!
And the evil cosmetics company is led by Sharon Stone and the guy who played the Merovingian in The Matrix.
Oh, French guy.
Yeah, he's not French in this though.
Oh,
Maybe it's not him.
is
Was
it
the
Crispin
Merovingian?
Glover? I always mix
No, it's not Crispin
I always
Glover.
thought it was
But
Crispin
it's not
Glover.
Vincent Cassel. Am I thinking of Vincent
You're
Cassel?
thinking of Vincent Cassel.
No, Vincent Cassel. No,
He
it's
wasn't
not
the
Vincent
Merovingian.
Cassel. The Merovingian, maybe he wasn't really French. I could have looked this up. I did the whole thing.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't
You
matter.
don't want to waste any more time on this than you already have.
They have this beauty product that can reverse aging, but it also burns your face off if you stop using it. And then Patience Phillips stumbles upon this fact.
Oh, because she's a moralist.
No, she's just late for a meeting and she goes to the wrong place and she literally stumbles across
That's
this fact.
unfortunate.
And the evildoers are like, oh well, she has to die. She knows her secret, so they try to kill her.
Classic 90s banter.
And they kill her.
In 2003,
Four. And they do kill her.
Oh.
And then she's washed up on the shores of some city. It's not specifically Gotham.
Well, you can't have Gotham without a Batman, can you?
We'll get into that later. So she's revived. She's
Revified.
She's revified by cats. Not the musical. She doesn't hear the musical Cats and go, magical Mr. Mistopheles cat.
And he comes in.
And he comes along.
to life.
No, she's not revived by cats in the same way my love of musicals was revived by cats. That's a good joke. It's not a great joke.
I loved it. But I just can't believe you made it.
So anyway, she's revived by the cats. Mm-hmm. The cats revive her. She goes to see a crazy old cat lady, and the crazy old cat lady tells her, "You're a Catwoman now. You're part of a long line of Catwomen."
What?
Yeah,
What?
and one of the long line of Catwomen is a picture of Michelle Pfeiffer, Catwoman, actually, which we'll talk about in a minute. So she decides to use her newfound cat powers to investigate this evil company. I think because her friend is using the cream, but it's not really. Maybe because they killed her.
I would take it more as the latter, but
I mean, her motivations aren't really clear here. So
they're not marked out too well.
maybe they are. I stopped paying attention. I was on Facebook. I just couldn't care. I didn't care less.
That's fair.
I was tracking down this Dean guy.
That's awfully fair.
So anyway, it turns out that the real bad guy isn't the Merovingian. He's just a bit of a dickhead. And Sharon Stone is the real bad guy. And the whole thing is a frame up. And then they have a fight and she kicks her out a window and then she dies. And then Halle Berry decides to leave her boyfriend and live a life as Catwoman.
Oh, did she have a boyfriend?
Well, that's the romantic subplot.
Oh, we just abandoned that.
Yeah, we abandoned that.
But I choose not in a... Oh, I can't spoil it.
But in a weird... No, we can spoil anything. Spoil
I was
anything.
going to say in the same way that Wonder Woman takes care of the love interest subplot. But
Oh, no, not anyway
not
near
as
that.
stylishly or
Like,
classy as...
or as important. She just leaves him and goes, "Oh, I'm going to go be Catwoman now. Right, see ya."
Shazam.
No, that's a different
That's a
character.
different character. That's a different character.
So who wins plot then? I mean, they're both.
Oh, we're graded by
wafer thin.
by waffle, aren't we? Like it's graded by waffle. So
Well,
I think the waffliest plot with the largest MacGuffin might be the anti-aging cream, and
Well, the anti-aging cream isn't the MacGuffin though. The thing about Catwoman, I don't know why I'm fighting in defense of your movie.
Feel free.
But the thing about Catwoman is, at least there isn't a MacGuffin. It's a revenge story in a sense.
yeah,
In a weird sense.
I have one question: is it ever clear to find why cats can grant the power of Catwoman to one person?
There's a whole mythology thing. It goes back to bloody Bast.
Of course it does. Of
And,
course it does.
you
You
know,
can't have cats without Egyptians.
Yeah, and the whole thing starts with, it opens on a montage of this really weird montage of ancient Egyptian imagery and such simple text as Bast was a goddess of cats,
Clear.
and then
point.
cats were sacred, and then it comes to modern day America and everything, and I don't know.
Okay.
We don't know why the cats chose her. Like, how the cats knew she was going to be killed and why she would make a good...
Cats know these kind of things.
Yeah, but the cat kind of tests her.
Did you
to
ask
see if she's
Ed?
worthy. Yeah. Ed didn't make it through the film. I have some pictures on my phone
Oh, excellent.
of Ed. He was engrossed in the first 45 minutes because there were lots of cats in it.
Naturally.
And every time they went, meow, he went, "What the fuck is that?"
Where are the other cats?
And then he lost interest towards
Can
the
we
last
please
time.
put one of those on Instagram?
Yeah, I'll put some on Instagram. There's also a video of him trying to help write my notes.
Excellent.
But yeah, no, she goes out onto a ledge to rescue the cat. The central cat.
Oh, like the chief cat
that gives her the powers.
Chief Catums.
Yeah, Midnight actually is it his name?
Chief Catums Midnight.
Chief Catums, yeah. So Kitty Cat is on the ledge, and she goes out to try and get him, and that's how she meets the cop who eventually becomes her boyfriend, and the cop who
eventually gets dumped.
Yeah, and the cop who's the one who's trying to hunt down Catwoman in the classic.
Oh yeah,
he's going out with
patience. This one. But what if Catwoman's not that bad? This classic lovers conversation.
Yeah, and then when he's trying
what if she's doing real good? She's a vigilante. I'm a cop. You got to follow the rules.
Exactly. Yeah. And then they have a little fight later, and she gives him a lick, and she says, "Does your girlfriend know about us?" And he says, "There is no us." And then, you don't know that is actually her though. Switch.
You know, if we had been doing this earlier, we could have written all these for the 90s superhero era and made a fortune. we would have been shills and sellouts, but my god, we'd be rolling in 90s money.
I think they're both crap, but I think we should give it to Batman and Robin.
Why?
Because at least Catwoman, you can explain it in a couple of sentences.
Yeah, you can't do that with Batman and Robin.
Like, there's too many other people in Batman and Robin. Like, what has Poison Ivy got to do with the diamonds? Does she have anything to do with the diamonds?
No. She just wants to use Mr. Freeze because he can get rid of Batman and Robin quicker than she can.
But it's totally inconsequential to the diamond laser.
Yeah, she also murders his wife for some reason.
Whose?
Mr. Freeze's.
What a cow.
What a cow.
And what's, like, why is Alicia Silverstone? You see what I mean? What's she got to do with anything?
She has no... she's Alfred's inexplicably non-British niece, who's been away at boarding school secretly for the last... I think he says 7 years.
English women in space.
Yeah, and he never told Master Wayne about this because he didn't want to burden him. So, Alfred has been supporting his niece in a very upper class boarding school
on a butler's wages.
On a butler's wage, when his basically adopted son who is a philanthropist, and exceptionally kind.
Yeah, he's a real philanthropist.
Is a billionaire. So instead of, excuse me, Mr. Wayne, my sister's died and I'm looking after my own ward.
Can I have
Because there's no
cash?
way Bruce Wayne would ever identify with an orphan story and possibly help that out. No, because he's never went through... Oh no, wait, he has.
No, he has.
He would definitely...
Ben, that's almost exactly his backstory.
He would definitely fund that kind of thing.
So let's give it to you then. Because there's just too much nonsense going on.
The inconsistencies are just muck.
At least Catwoman is boring, but to the point.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. Point 2. Acting. Does your film have acting?
Well, as I previously stated, some of the greatest actors of the 90s feature in my film. We have Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age. Lots of...
No, it didn't.
No, it didn't. No, a giant meteor killed the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
But according to the preeminent cryogenicist in the field, like the top it did. The Ice Age killed them.
Cryogenicist, but not geologist.
No. Didn't do any study on how the Earth was formed or how things were shaped or
what a dumbass.
How it worked. Yeah, so he's there just knocking out unsuited one-liners. As long as it has ice in it, he'll say it. Like
freeze.
He'll freeze. Ice to meet you. Like this kind, like just over and over and over again.
Is that acting or writing though?
I feel like the previous acting of Arnold Schwarzenegger probably influenced the writers a little bit.
Okay.
Because he quips a lot.
Yeah.
In everything.
Put the cookie down.
Because of the really strong Austrian accent, I think he's generally given one-liners to just whip out every now and then.
He can't remember.
Well, he just rehearses the one-liners, so they're perfect.
That's how I speak.
Keeps dragging them out. Like, there's no long explanation of cryogenics from Arnold Schwarzenegger in this film.
That's probably good.
I mean, it's good, but I was kind of curious as to how any of his weaponry works. Because he can shoot like big blasts and small blasts, but there's no
ice lasers.
But there's no consistency to it.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Talk about acting.
Sorry. So the acting is suitably, but like you kind of expect it from Arnold Schwarzenegger. So Arnold Schwarzenegger gets a pass. He's just Arnold Schwarzenegger in this film.
Okay.
Poison Ivy is ridiculous. She's like really petulant and silly. Uma Thurman does a really crappy job of embodying a character who's supposed to be sexy. She just comes off as really like petty or sour or something. Like it's really hard to explain.
Do a voice.
No, I can't do him with Dermot. Just like lots of quotes like, "Well, boys, don't fight over me," and stupid quips like this. You know, like, and it's just like, oh. But her acting is almost entirely based in expositional dialogue.
Oh, that sounds like my one.
Where she just narrates everything that she's doing to Bane, who is her mute, muscle-bound sidekick.
But Bane isn't mute.
No.
Bane, time for the darkness.
If you were to put 2013's Bane in a room with 1997's Bane, the conversation would go something like this. You merely adopted the darkness. I was born in it, moulded by it. And then 1997's Bane would say, Bane! Because that's what he does. He just repeats his name.
That's very different.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a contrast in the amount of dialogue that both characters were given. One is a classically trained Shakespearean actor, and the other one is
Tom Hardy.
No, but in the film he seems to be a classically trained Shakespearean actor.
Okay. Bane. Actual Bane.
Actual Bane.
Okay.
He actually spent 6 years at Juilliard before he was tossed in the pit. Yeah.
That's why the acting betrays you, Bruce.
Exactly.
I was shaped by it.
Molded by it. Yeah, so George Clooney and Chris O'Donnell
are in it.
Dear God, I have never seen two men take more closely to the Adam West, Burt Ward dynamic in my entire life.
I watched a bit of Batman 66 Batman.
Same.
It's great.
It's the same. No, it's fine when you're watching Batman from the 60s.
Yeah.
But this film is just Batman from the 60s in 1997.
They're very different eras.
They're awfully different. But that doesn't stop Schumacher from like shoehorning the aesthetic of the 90s into the... Yeah, I'm crossing categories.
No,
anyway.
I'm just saying Schumacher.
Oh, shoehorning. SCHU. We're going to use that from now on. Shoehorning is a thing we're going to say when directors shove needless stuff in.
But
and it doesn't fit at all. But their acting is... very strange. They have the dynamic off to pat, but it's a very false dynamic. Mm-hmm. And it's almost consistent acting in how hollow it is. Because it's hollow the whole way through. There's no chemistry between either of those people for the entire film. Chris O'Donnell is not that much younger than George Clooney in this film. And the weird dynamic between him being treated as a kid and... like, it just doesn't fit at all. Their acting is terrible. Like, he treats him like a child a lot. The one-liners are rampant for George Clooney. It completely ruins Batman.
Can he move his neck?
Very little. It's very difficult because in Bruce Wayne mode, he's a bobblehead because that's how George Clooney acts. He's really confident.
Got a loose neck.
Well, I mean, if you look at it that way.
Do you want an espresso?
Yeah, and he's like he rolls that neck around like he's got some pivots going on there, but he can't do it in this.
No, because he's got the rubber neck.
And then Alicia Silverstone is atrocious. Alfred is very crap. Like no, Alfred is the most consistent character, and Commissioner Gordon. They're the same ones from 1987 through 1989 through to 1997. Yeah, they got 10 years.
So that unfortunately means it definitely happens in the same universe.
Yeah, no, it's a lead on.
See, you're lucky that your movie contained acting, because mine largely doesn't. Well, I mean, there's Halle Berry doing the meek,
shy, demure,
it's awful.
Beta female.
Every time she smiles, you can see every man in the room looking around going, who's she? But then she's like, oh, I'm meek.
Oh, don't look at me.
Don't look at me. I'm shy.
I'm a wallflower.
I'm so shy. I've stumbled across something. Oh, I'm being shot at. It's just awful. And then when she's sexy, she's not sexy. She's not. It's just not sexy. When she gets sexied up, go on.
Shocking fact about Halle Berry: can't act sexy.
No,
never seen her do it, and it doesn't fit because when you look at Halle Berry, it should be sexy.
And they've let the acting. They've let her not act. They've she's got sexy eyes. She's got sexy lips.
She's got a great body,
great figure. She's wearing a mask and cleavage. So I suppose she doesn't need to act.
Everything's tick, tick, tick.
Oh, it's just
But
bad.
her personality overrides sexy every time. Storm is very wholesome and not great. When she was in Die Another Day, she's supposed to be this sexy CIA kind of... She's not at all.
She can't do sexy.
She always comes across as the girl next door. She can't make the leap.
Ben, everyone who knows me, everyone who's spoken to me for more than 15 minutes, know I have an unhealthy relationship with Catwoman. It's a thing.
Really?
Oh, it's.
We haven't been speaking enough.
No, well, I mean, let's not get into it too much. But it's just weird how unsexy this is. And I don't even mean sexy, exploitative sexy. I mean, characters can be sexy without being exploitative. Like, there are hundreds of examples. Like, even, let's say, Jessica Jones had a bit more sexiness to her.
Jessica Jones is super sexy,
but without
and
being
not traditionally, like, overtly sexy.
Yeah, like, I don't mean overtly sexy, but there's a bit where she knocks one of the burglars out and she goes, meow! And there's two things wrong with it. First of all, she just can't do sexy. When she did that, I immediately went, oh, I wish Michelle Pfeiffer was here. Because Michelle Pfeiffer...
I often say that.
Yeah, when Michelle Pfeiffer does it, Jesus Christ, I need to sit down.
If you've ever seen the Alan Rickman meme from Harry Potter where he's pressed against the wall,
yes, exactly.
That's Mick.
Now,
Like, oh!
The other thing is when Michelle Pfeiffer did it, Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman was a much more well, no, not more sexualized. They're exactly as sexualized. Michelle Pfeiffer's in the very tight...
With varying degrees of success between the pair.
Yeah, but Michelle Pfeiffer's in the tight catsuit and it's very fetishy, and Halle Berry's in the much more revealing outfit, much more 90s-y, a bit more dominatrix-y. Okay. She even has a kind of dominatrix-y scene where she fights a guy, but just not sexy, just weird, just uncomfortable, just... I don't want to say I felt embarrassed for her, because... I don't know, that feels sexist.
But she's been voted the planet's sexiest watch.
It's just not sexy. I think in one sense it's how heightened the Batman Returns world is.
Yeah.
That it made a woman knocking someone out and going meow much more reasonable. Whereas there was nothing of that kind of thing in Catwoman until she does it, and you just cringe and you go, oh no, why'd she do that? Yeah. So yeah, there's really no one else of note in the film. Sharon Stone's in it. She's one-dimensional.
She just plays the character from Basic Attraction again, doesn't she?
No, it's not even that bloody nuanced. It's every single line she has is about how much she hates her husband. That's it, literally.
Oh, so Hollywood was hoping that men would enjoy the film because a woman who doesn't like her husband gets her comeuppance at the end?
Oh, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if it's Sharon Stone's fault or... It's very hard to separate plot acting and just bad dialogue.
I had an equal issue.
But at one point she's asked, is your husband here? And she says, I'm here, why would he be here? And then someone says, your husband is at the factory. And she says, if you mean he's at a play with a 20-year-old, tell him blah blah blah. And like, it does turn out that all of those things are true, but she's just so bitter.
She's just so bitter.
Her only
salty.
Her only emotion, the only thing she emotes is bitterness.
Salty Stone.
Then the men, I mean, Benjamin Bratt is detective. Think about a detective in a movie.
I can't remember who Benjamin Bratt is.
He looks a bit like Lou... Who's the guy? No, not Lou Ferrigno. Sorry. He was in NYPD Blue or something like that. Law and Order. Or something.
You've lost.
Anyway, he's a generic detective. He's kind of sexy. He's a sexy generic detective with a heart of gold.
Sexy generic detective.
He's the most generic guy ever. I'm giving this one to me.
Yeah, you probably win this one.
Taking it. Okay, let's move on to fidelity.
Yeah.
Do you want to say what that means?
Fidelity deals with the piece's faithfulness to the source material.
Oh, that's not what I meant.
Okay,
I meant how much did Cuban dictator Fidel Castro enjoy it? No, I didn't.
The ruse, he used it for a bit. God damn it. Go on, fidelity is how faithful something is to the source material that it takes from. So, mine screwed it. Not as much as yours screwed it, I'd be willing to guess, but mine just screwed it. So it keeps the bare bones of everything Batman related.
Right.
So Batman is very rich. His parents still die. Alfred is still incredibly British. Robin is still kind of a pain in the ass.
He has a bat car.
Everything is bat themed.
Good.
But in terms of characterization, for Batman and Robin especially, they fucked it. It's like there's so many one-liners from George Clooney's Batman. Not even as Bruce Wayne. Like, there's no separation between Batman and Bruce Wayne. It's just Bruce Wayne in a costume. There is no Batman in this film. There is a scene where he uses his credit card, which is bat-themed.
That's traceable.
Yeah,
They'd find him.
yeah, and so it's just really inconsistent. There's no detective work.
But he's the world's greatest detective.
Not in this. Not in this. If we're looking for fidelity to characterization, like I said, Batman 66, perfect. A perfect legacy piece to that. It's almost like Joel Schumacher didn't watch 1989 through to 1997. It's almost like he just watched the kitsch 1960s version and went, oh, that's what I'll do. That's Batman. And it's like he redid it. The choreographing is the same. The quips are the same. Like, there's sound effects when he does certain things. Like, just really inconsistent. Mr. Freeze, who's traditionally like a villain that's full of pathos, has a really sad backstory, has really clear motivations for why he's doing things.
He just wants to save his wife.
Just wants to save his wife. They do 2 minutes on why he's doing the stuff, and the rest of the time he swans around in an ice robe with cigars. Ice-based supervillains that are allergic to heat can't use cigars.
No, that wouldn't make a lot of sense.
No, it wouldn't, would it?
Ice cigars.
That's what I found myself saying when I was watching the scene in the movie.
These cigars are very ice. No, it's not great.
He might have said that. I'm
no.
not sure. Then Bane is ridiculous. Completely one-dimensional. Bane all the time. Poison Ivy is ridiculous. She's an eco-warrior.
Isn't she often?
Huh? Yeah, no, that fits. But then she's not really sexy. In a similar way that you don't find Halle Berry and Catwoman sexy, I found nothing sexy about Poison Ivy in the thing. She's supposed to be the femme fatale of the whole thing, and it's just,
she uses that magic kiss, doesn't she?
Yeah, she has the pheromones. And they don't work on
Robin.
Mr. Freeze.
Oh.
Because
he's married.
Pheromones used to warm the blood of men, not for the cold-hearted. So yeah, there's lots of this crap going around. And I just think, in terms of source material, no, they take all the great aspects of Batman detective work, interesting dynamics between him and Robin, stuff like that. They turn it into a weird, petulant high school play. There's a lot of melodrama that runs through the whole thing. Gotham is not Gotham in a traditional sense. Tim Burton did this really good job of making this huge kind of gothic surrealist city.
Probably the best thing about it.
And what Joel Schumacher focuses on are the large statues of Greek men throughout the entire city, which must have been a nightmare for city planning. Like, it's just like, where can we put the rail? We can't put it there. There's a statue there. Yeah, but like, we really need this for the infrastructure of the city. Yeah, but you can't go through the abs on Greek statue number 552.
Some of them are massive.
No, they're humongous. They're like Atlas-sized things. Like, they're insane. So even the city itself is out of character. Everything is set in a punk rave aesthetic. Everyone has brightly coloured hair. There's neon lights everywhere, which must cost the city a fortune. I just found myself weeping. You know who I was concerned about throughout the entire movie? Gotham City's planning department.
Municipal energy
department. They must just pull their hair out every day. So in terms of stuff like that, no. Terrible fidelity.
Okay, look, I have you trumped. Mine isn't Catwoman.
Yeah, yours isn't Catwoman at all.
Look, her different character, different origin,
different name.
She's different name.
It's Selena Kyle.
But it's not Selena Kyle because Patience
Phillips.
But I mean, different origin. She gets her powers. She's supernatural powers.
Catwoman doesn't have powers.
Catwoman doesn't have powers. She's no relationship with Batman. She's no relationship with Gotham. She's a burglar in name only. She's involved in one kind of heist almost by accident. She's only like morally in a grey area in the sense that she keeps saying that sometimes I'm bad, sometimes I'm good, but like she doesn't do anything bad. I mean, no Batman, no nothing, there's no connection. It's not Catwoman. It's not Catwoman in any way.
Straight up.
It's just straight up not Catwoman. And she's not even Catwoman. She's a Catwoman.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
We don't even give her a Catwoman trademark, like.
I don't think so. Well, other characters call her Catwoman. What it feels like, even her origin of like kind of meek designer who gets killed by evil boss, then revived as a sexy cat lady who's out for revenge. It's like they've taken the Batman Returns Michelle Pfeiffer character. They've done an adaptation of that.
It is. that, like, because it does.
That's
It's quite
what
faithful to the 1992.
It's a little bit faithful to that one. 12 years later, so we're at that was as separated from then as now is from then. That's a poor explanation.
Batman and Robin is coming into its 20-year anniversary. Actually,
why Dean was so excited. So yeah, I mean, it's just not Catwoman. It's not Catwoman. At best, it's a very, very. I mean, you could, if they didn't call it Catwoman, there would have been nothing to take action on in the copyright sense in this movie from DC. If they called her the Panther, there you go.
Or She-Cat.
She-Cat. Or Cat Lady. Anything.
Cat Lady.
Anything. DC wouldn't have it. There's not a single mention of anything.
They couldn't touch them.
So I'm giving that to me. Let's do themes and motifs and shit.
Themes and motifs and shit. Themes and motifs can be summed up pretty quickly.
Go on.
Neon.
Yeah.
Is a theme.
Yeah.
The only thing that Joel Schumacher seems to care about. The male body.
Oh.
Which actually, on a strange side note, is rampant throughout the entire thing. Everything is obsessed with glorified male body parts. We have the giant statues, which I mentioned previously, but then it's also the first superhero costume with nipples in place. But they're quite sculpted. Then you have Bane, who's like the personification of a very strong man, basically, like a bodybuilder, and this obsession with how male vitality can be harnessed to do lots of things. And I would have said it was just a thing to be very homophobic, that the director was gay, and you would have thrown it away. But it's almost like an obsession throughout the entire film. It's really, really strange. And if you look at the psychology behind that and the Adonis complex and all that kind of thing, that had just come out of the 80s. The Adonis complex and the obsession with the male form in a kind of hyper...
Your Schwarzeneggers.
Hyper state. Yeah, exactly.
Your Sylvester Stallones.
All of this started to affect the psyche on a base level in movies, but it seems to have affected Joel Schumacher more than anybody else.
Is Joel Schumacher a gay gentleman?
He is. He's exceptionally camp.
Oh, is he?
He is. And he has since apologised. I should point out...
For being gay?
No.
We don't support that.
No, we don't support that. No, he has since apologised for his Batman movie. I meant to say that. He and George Clooney have both apologised profusely for what they did. They knew what they did. So anyway, there was this huge obsession with that, and the more metrosexual Bruce Wayne is actually more of a failure until he dons the costume and becomes more masculine, until he agrees to deal with the problem at in a physical way.
That's very
so it's
interesting.
almost like philanthropy and more alternative forms of expressing masculinity in a new way
are useless,
completely fall apart and are undue systems until he dons the cape and the everything,
the fetish outfit.
And he doesn't actually win until he takes Mr. Freeze on in a one-on-one fight.
Right.
So there's a device, there's another Maguffin, and it's like a bat thermos. And what he does is
for keeping your bats
he
warm.
Sticks, because Mr. Freeze has a huge exoskeleton that he wears. He's infinitely more powerful than Batman.
Right.
Until Batman uses the bat thermos, and he sticks it on, and he goes, the quip is, "Hey, Freeze," and Freeze actually takes the time to go, "What
is it?"
And he says, "The heat is on." And then
Nice.
the little thing flashes red, because heat is red, and then he just sucks him on across the face.
Knocks him out.
So even his gadget doesn't actually do that much. It just takes a good left hook from Batman. So in terms of those themes, those are the themes and motifs. I gave that way more credit than it is. It's not that intelligent. It's not some exploration of masculinity. It's garbage. The themes and motifs are mostly neon lights and kitsch costumes.
So Catwoman.
Oh Christ.
So first of all, extreme close-ups on everyone all the time. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it was a stylistic thing. I don't know if it was trying to create a sense of intimacy but extreme close-ups and weird wavy camera angles. The camera seems to be just moving around, shonky CG, but I don't know what it was about. I think it was telling that inside every meek woman there's a sexy crime fighter waiting.
Tigress.
I think that was the point.
Should have been called a tigress.
I think it was encouraging women to wear more makeup and get short haircuts.
Oh.
I don't know what. It's so attempts to be sexualized that, in a lot of ways, kind of matching what you said, that she was this meek shy, long hair, baggy clothes. Then she has this experience and she becomes this sexy woman who can get what she wants. But there doesn't appear to be anything that she wants.
Yeah.
I think it was directed and written by a man, and I think it was directed and written by a man about feminine empowerment.
Oh.
I think he just got... I think they got...
He just got it wrong.
They just got it wrong.
Didn't read a book, like.
I think, like... That's not the message. The message isn't let out your inner sexiness and you'll become more powerful.
So basically, he was like, "What do women want? They want to be sexy."
And there's also but you don't know. Like, is that message for women or is it for men? Because if it's for men, they've made a mess of it because men don't find it sexy.
They also won't watch that film.
Yeah, men don't find it sexy. Women don't find it empowering. It's just
doubtful.
Look at Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman.
Men find her sexy. Women find her empowering. Everybody's happy.
I find
not all men find her sexy. Joel Schumacher wouldn't.
No.
And that's fine.
That's fine, because we here at the podcast are equal rights. We have
support,
Pride Week here.
Yeah,
in
we
Dublin.
support that.
Happy Pride Week, Michael.
Thanks, Ben. We forgot to celebrate our
We forgot to celebrate that. Actually, our obsession with male and female bodies is quite in the face of Pride Week.
Yeah. The other thing
but
is...
we were exploring it so you don't have to.
There's kind of an undercurrent of not trusting Big Pharma. But it seems like that's just a bit on the nose.
Not giving it that, it's too early.
Okay, who do you want to give that one to? We've got one more topic and we've got about 3 minutes left. So
I really think I win that one.
Okay, you can take that one.
Because female empowerment is a clear theme. It's just mishandled in yours.
Let's talk about technical stuff. Mine, terrible. Rubber Halle Berry running around like a cat. When she's like a cat, she's clearly CGI with no spine. And then she stands up and walks like a normal person, and the transitions are horrible. She's revived by awful CGI cats.
Really?
Oh, they're terrible. 2004 CGI cats. 2004, listen to me. I'm talking to you. You don't have the technology for CGI cats.
You cannot rebuild them.
Don't do it. Yeah, they're the two main technical faults. The editing is very bad. It's like... She's being chased by someone, the camera angle cuts, and then we're with her for about 30 seconds, even though when the guy was chasing her, he couldn't have been more than 2 or 3 seconds behind her. There's lots of stuff like that where stuff has been lost in edits or just poorly edited. But the real crime is the CGI. The CGI Halle Berry, bad.
I wish there was CGI in mine. I wish there was bad CGI for me to focus on. It's like stepping into a music video for Prince. That's what it is.
I like Prince.
Yeah, but you don't want to watch a whole movie.
It's like a tribute to a kiss from a rose on the grave.
That's Seal.
Seal.
Are you mixing up black artists again because you're a closeted racist?
That's not nice.
Is that what you're doing again?
If I were a racist, which I'm not, I would not be closeted.
That's fair.
I was mixing up Batman artists.
Batman artists, yeah. Seal is the Batman artist you were referring to. Everything is done using hanging wires and mini sets. I think the most CGI they attempt is the giant statues. There's a lot of driving cars up walls. And driving them up and down statues and crashing through statues, and it's all done in a CGI, with no CGI. So what you see is like cars crashing through walls and the bricks flying everywhere, but it looks really...
But they're styrofoam.
Yeah, so it's kind of ridiculous. Camera angles are usually a little bit choppy, a lot of long panel shots pulling, very boring. So we talk like a lot of fixed camera angles, no dynamics in the way they speak or anything like that, just like... just bog standard stuff.
Bog standard. I'm taking it then. I'm going to take that
I guess you win.
Do you have a shit factor? Do you have one last thing?
One last thing.
I have one. Do you want to hear mine?
Go ahead.
Basketball scene.
Oh, you've got a scene.
One-on-one, sexy basketball scene. Do you remember the playground fight in Daredevil?
Okay.
The sexy playground fight. Replace that with a sexy one-on-one basketball match between two actors who can't play basketball.
No such thing.
Surrounded by children.
Ooh.
That's my shit factor.
I'll give you a shit factor. I have my shit factor. It took me a while to remember what an actual shit factor is. The whole subplot of the movie between Alfred and his niece is that she wants to be a dangerous go-get-em girl, and he is like, no, you're a woman, you have no place in society as an equal member. Because he's of the British aristocracy. And he gives her a CD at the start of the movie when she comes back, and he says, never open this. Okay. Spends the whole movie preaching to her that she's not to be involved in dangerous situations, and your mother wouldn't want you to do that. She then, at the crux of the movie, when Alfred gets sick and can no longer actually speak, opens the CD, and what it is a set of videotaped instructions on how she can better help Batman and Robin as Batgirl. And he said, I had a feeling. So he asks her, it's like an automated thing, when he asks her, how can I help you? And she says, I want to help Batman and Robin, because she's American and not British.
Yeah, you've covered that.
And he says, I thought you would. And I was like, what? No, you didn't. You spent the whole movie saying not to. And then he goes, I took the liberty of whipping you something up. And he shows her the schematics to her new Bat costume.
He made her the costume.
And he knew her measurements exactly.
Oh, no.
And so then she goes, thanks, Uncle Alfred. And does her little suit-up scene, glorified close-up of her ass,
obviously
popping on the and off she goes.
Oh,
that's my shit scene.
That's pretty good. I think that beats the basketball scene. I think, Ben, that we can't really pick a winner. We can say that the only losers are the fans. Yes.
Oh, that's true.
Okay.
If
you're listening on any sort of format where you can give us feedback, so if we're talking about YouTube, or if you're on SoundCloud, or if you're on Twitter or Instagram, let us know which film you think was worse.
Who you agreed with in this podcast.
Yeah,
would be fun.
Also, any points we might have missed, anything that stuck out to you as really bad,
feel free to pile on.
Yeah. Also, if you're listening, stick a comment down below, and maybe we'll do another shit movie showdown.
Give us suggestions. If you think this was nice and not too negative, please let us know. Because we don't want to be a negative podcast. It's not our thing. We're negative enough as it is. This is the only time we get to be sunny and extroverted. So anyway, that's it from us.
Yeah. Bye.